What is going on? Today is night 2 of going shrimping out of our home waters out of Hillsboro Inlet, and tonight we got the entire family. Last night it was just my mom and Victor and I, and we caught almost an entire 5-gallon bucket full of shrimp. So tonight we're going out again to see if we can do the same thing again, but we got the whole crew. They needed to make sure that the shrimp were actually running before they came. So you guys ready?
That's not what I needed. Brooke must have asked me 20 times to go shrimping last night, and I was tired, and I kept saying, no, I don't want to go. I was being a big baby. So today I took a little nap, and now I'm ready to go.
We have about like a 10-minute ride till we get to Hillsboro Inlet, where we want to be, where the water's flowing through, and that's where hopefully the shrimp are flowing through. So let's see if we can catch some shrimp.
We went from 3 boats last night to... There's not too many in the middle there. Oh, you got a jumper.
Jumper.
Yeah, I think word got out, Fisher.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if I'm here, everyone's here. Oh, Jen.
Oh, you got 2.
Then are you just getting quicker rejects?
I'll move forward. Oh,
I like to go off the
so
bow.
many right here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you just leave your net in the water now.
It's
Jeez,
how it was
some of
last
these are
night for us
big.
too. You just leave them in the water and you're good to go.
I'll tell you one thing, this is a huge difference from last night. Last night I said there was probably 7 boats. Tonight, it's like a parking lot out here. If you guys know this area and you've ever heard of like Boca Bash, that's what it's like tonight. It's literally like Boca Bash out here, and everyone's just shrimping instead of drinking. It is crazy. I'm definitely gonna just be driving tonight. Last night I was able to drive and shrimp, and like it was easy to do. Tonight I definitely just have to drive because there are boats everywhere, and there are a lot of people anchored in random places that I don't think you're technically allowed to anchor in. I mean, everyone's having fun, everyone's catching shrimp, so it's pretty awesome.
Right on in, huh?
Right on in, exactly.
Look at the shrimp at the bottom of my net. Look at them babies.
It doesn't seem like to be as running as good as it was last night. We're here at like the exact same time as last night, and the way the tides work is every single day they're an hour later. So technically it should be the way it was last night, an hour later than it was tonight. An hour later tonight than it was last night. So it could pick up.
What time were you here last night?
Like literally this exact time.
Oh, the exact time?
So,
We should have an hour more of shrimping tonight than we did last night.
yes, so in theory, if it's as good as it was last night, we should have an extra hour. This is crazy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're gonna empty?
Yeah,
Shrimp ball. Shrimp ball. There we go. Alright, back to it.
Double.
What do you think compared to last night, Mom?
A little slower, but still good. Still fun.
How's it going over here, Brother Jed?
Check it.
You'll show me.
Oh, yeah, you... Oh, no, dude, you got the whole tentacle and everything.
This is my nightmare.
That right there is a giant man-o-war, and that's what stung Brooke's mom, Debbie, last night. You guys see his tentacles. His tentacles right there, those things will light you up. We get them in the wintertime, Portuguese man-o-war. They come down the beaches, they get flushed in the inlet, and they are like the most painful jellyfish you will ever experience, and it is all tangled up in our mesh net right here. So, and not to mention, it's also going to be all stuck in our shrimp, so we got to be really careful not to make sure that no one's cleaning a shrimp later and have a man-o-war tentacle in them. We got, I don't know, I'd say a third of a bucket, not quite half a bucket yet.
I'll tell you, with these shrimp nets, it makes it so much better than the, look, there's 2. I missed them while I was talking. These shrimp nets here are so much better than the ones they sell locally, those blue nets. You could catch shrimp with them, but these things are just, they're, the circumference is the legal circumference that you're allowed to have. And the shrimp don't really see them coming. It reminds me of Brook's lobster nets with this clear mesh instead of, you know, the blue mesh. It's just like her lobster nets. The shrimp don't see it coming, so you drop the net down in front of them and they swim right into it. See, look, they don't even run from it. They get down into that, they get down into the bottom, you shake them down in there, and they're there for good. They're not swimming out on you. This is fun. This is fun.
Oh, Brian, what was that?
Oh,
That's
crap.
what I was doing last night too.
Oh, jeez. I'm out of practice. That's all I got to say.
Holy crap. Oh yeah.
Oh, man. See him trying to swim out? That's not stripping down good.
Down. 2. You got them both.
What?
Yeah, you got both of them. No. Down deep. You got that one.
Nice shrimp slide.
They don't need a net, probably.
Oh, it's really good right now.
Is it?
On my side of
That's because fish are stopped. Shrimp slide.
Oh, shrimp slide failed. Shrimps for everyone.
Brooke says that she doesn't think that the shrimp are any smaller than last night, but I'm telling you, man, they are much smaller than last night. So we're doing pretty good with 4 people. I think we made up for it not being as good of a night of shrimping with the amount of people we have. And it's nice because it makes the night go by longer. It's not just like, you know, there's something about the pain and working for your food rather than just coming out here and just limiting out in 30 minutes. We went shrimping last night, and Brooke's mom got stung by a man o' war. I don't know how good you guys can tell on the camera, but this finger right here, my index finger, is lit up with man o' war. If you've never been stung by one, I think it's way worse than a jellyfish, and it's one of those pains that just like, it doesn't really get into its full pain until about like 15 minutes 8, I'd say, and it just gets worse and worse and worse, and your finger just gets really hot. So if you go shrimping, be really careful, especially if you got kids, because they just look like these, I don't know, almost looks like silly string, like a bunch of blue silly string in your net, and you're like, oh, what's that? You touch it, and then you're in a lot of pain.
All my years of shrimping, I've never caught a jellyfish once. Never had a piece of my net, ever.
Man o' war either?
Never, ever. No, man o' war, that's what I meant to say. I've never had that.
The last 2 days we've had them.
Yeah.
Maybe just the right kind of wind blowing.
What do you think, Mom?
I told everyone to be careful. An hour later, it was starting to feel better, so they'll start feeling better soon. Because Jed has some too. How's yours, Jed?
So you know you're alive.
Okay, Macho Man.
We're getting close.
But I wonder how much of a difference it makes when there's so many boats out, because all the people in front of you are basically taking the shrimp that you could have been taking. So, I don't know. Look at all those glowing red eyes.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a full bucket.
Shrimp for days.
Well, we did it. A limit is 5 gallons per vessel, but if you're on land, like if you were on the docks at the inlet, it's 5 gallons per person, but when you're on the boat, it's just per vessel. So we got our limit. It's time to go home and clean them up now.
Everybody's getting in on the fun. I heard you caught 4 gallons of shrimp up here all by yourself?
I'd say at least, yeah.
So you're saying that it was just 1 gallon between the rest of us, huh?
I didn't say that.
How was your shrimping experience?
That's probably the best shrimping I've experienced personally. It was pretty cool. That's the most amount of boats I've ever seen out there. So that was neat that everyone else was getting in on it too. So that was a good night.
Time to go home and clean shrimp. It was a good fun night. Glad we all came out here.
I didn't expect to come out tonight because last night we went and we caught a bunch of shrimp, and I just didn't think anyone was going to want to come since last night no one really seemed up for it. And then tonight we literally we went from my last video of catching shrimp and eating them for dinner to straight onto the boat and catching more shrimp. So it was pretty awesome, and I'm glad that we all got to come out here and experience it. I'd say it wasn't as good as last night, so it could be like tomorrow night it may not be as good as even tonight was, or it could still be just as good. Who knows? Like, you never really know about shrimping, but I'm glad that we got to come out here because it still was a really great night.
I had a great time with my whole family. We missed Gabby, but we all had a great time. I didn't really shrimp much. I had a lot of fun watching everybody else. It was awesome. Great night.
What do you got to say about Fisher's catching 4 gallons out of 5?
I think that's just hubris talking. But I think there's something to be said for breaking a sweat and catching dinner with the crew. I mean, take a look at the bucket. We absolutely crushed it, and it's hands down, I think, my second favorite thing to do besides scalloping. So it's always great to actually get out here and do something that the whole family can do as a team, and time to clean them all.
Every single time when we do this, we count how many shrimp that we catch, and we bag them in bags of 100. So it seems like a ton of shrimp to count, but that's just what we always do. So I want you guys to comment down below how many shrimp you think that we caught right now. Go ahead and comment down below. I'm going to show you guys how to clean a shrimp right now, and then we're all going to tell you how many we think we caught, and then at the end we'll tell you exactly how many shrimp we caught. But comment down below. Don't cheat and figure it out first, but this is how you clean them. You're going to pinch at the head and then grab at the tail and just basically pinch and pull apart, and the vein pulls out almost every single time. Pinch, separate, there goes the vein. Drop the head in your bucket, keep the good tail. And you just keep repeating the process. See? Everyone always worries about the vein, but it comes out. And then you just repeat the process hundreds of times. So, just like that. And you can make a shrimp stock out of the heads. Last night we froze a giant bag of the heads, and Victor wants to make a shrimp stock out of it. And then you can freeze the shrimp stock, so then you have that in the freezer. So you can do whatever you want. You could eat them just like this with the heads on, but we prefer to take the heads off and then freeze all the tails. Okay, everybody. Now, guess how many shrimp you think we have. I'm gonna guess 1,600.
I think we got 1,001.
1,200.
1,100. And here's 100 to bag, Deb. Right there, there's the first 100 cleaned.
Good.
13,500.
You want to change your answer? 13,000?
1,300.
Yeah, never mind.
Just say it again.
No, you should leave that in there. 13,000.
Well, you lost.
1250.
I say 1,350.
Alright. Vic, how about you?
I said 1250.
Oh, okay. Alright guys, welcome back to the kitchen. So it's actually been a couple weeks since we went shrimping, and now it is finally time to cook up our shrimp. So we're gonna start with a sauce that we're going to make for our pasta, and then we're gonna serve our shrimp on top of the pasta. So in this pot, we got some olive oil, and the first thing going in is some chopped shallots. At the same time, we're going in with a red, yellow, and orange bell pepper. Let those cook down for a little while first. Moving on over to the shrimp. We're cooking 200 of the shrimp tonight, and like I said, we bag them in bags of 100. So this is 100 shrimp that we already took the shells off. I have Vic helping me take the shrimp out of the shells, but we defrost them in some water first, and then the shrimp come out of their shells pretty easily. I get my nail under the first part of the shell and peel off as much as I can as a first step, and then the second step, you push the tail and it comes right out every single time. So I basically do 2 steps every time. First part with my nail, push out the tail. And just repeat the process till you do all 200. As you can see, our peppers and shallots have got nice and tender. So now we're going in with a head of minced garlic. Same time, we're gonna put in halved cherry tomatoes. So next thing we're going in with is dry sherry. Used about half the bottle, and now we're gonna let that reduce. All right, so now we're trying to get some volume, so we're going in with some chicken stock, chicken broth. Our wine reduced by probably about half. Now we're gonna add some salt, pepper. So here are all the shrimp deshelled, and we're gonna season these with just salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And lastly, Old Bay. Now we're going in with heavy whipping cream. Next thing going in, fresh basil from the garden. And then as the last step of things I think I'm gonna add is some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I also made a little bit of garlic bread. That's going in the oven. So now we have another pan with some butter, and now our shrimp are going in. All right, so tonight we're serving our beautiful pasta in these bowls. And we're gonna put the shrimp on top. Gabby is allergic to shrimp, so we gotta make sure we do not combine the shrimp and the pasta. Okay, and here are our finished shrimp. Everyone's gonna get a nice big scoop. So I forgot to tell you guys how many shrimp that we caught, and since this has been a couple weeks since we caught all the shrimp, I forgot to video at the end after we counted all the shrimp how many it was. So the final total of shrimp was, drum roll please, 11.
11. I need
11 shrimp. Final total was 1,191 shrimp. So that's how many we caught. It seems like a lot of shrimp, and it might seem like a crazy amount to take in one time, but we've all been eating shrimp for weeks and it's been great. And if you do it on land, the legal limit is 5 gallons per person. So we had 6 people on the boat that night, but you can only take one 5-gallon bucket. But if you were on land, you could have taken 6 5-gallon buckets. So you could have gotten 30 gallons of shrimp if you were on land. So that's just crazy. So you might think we took a lot of shrimp, but the people on land could be taking even more.
I got to go tarpon fishing in Miami the last 2 nights, which is where the shrimp that we just ate come from. So it's kind of cool to see everything come full circle, just like the migration of the shrimp coming from way down there, going all the way up the coast and seeing all the fish feed on them, and then we feed on them ultimately. And look at this, empty bowls all around. So you know Brooke did something good here.
It's a lot of fun being able to come back and eat your catch. With Brooke and Victor doing so much traveling, it's more often than not that I'm not eating anything that I had any hand in catching. So it's always fun to actually know that I put in some effort to get the meal that I'm eating. But what Brooke was saying as to like the amount we catch, just figure like I'm eating 100 shrimp in one sitting when I make like shrimp fried rice. So it's not really that many in the grand scheme, but well done, Brooke. Super, super good. Can't wait for the next one.
I really enjoyed eating that meal out of this bowl. It was a lot of fun. And I loved that they were peeled. It was just so good. The flavor of this broth you made was just so good. I loved it, and I hope you make it for us again.
Thank you.
2 thumbs up, Brooke.
Thank you.
I like to call myself a hunter-gatherer, and I think I raised my kids to be hunter-gatherers. Wherever we go, on vacation or anything, we always bring a cooler with us to bring home whatever species it is in that state or wherever we go. And I love eating what we catch, and we never waste anything. You know, we take good care of it, we clean it, we put it in the freezer, and then we break it out and have these delicious dinners. We've been chasing lobsters, shrimp, crabs, scallops, ducks, all different species of fish. Just the hunter-gatherer lifestyle just suits me. I really enjoy the whole thing, and the dinners. That's my way of having fun.
If you don't do these reviews first, it's usually hard to come up with something because everyone always has the right things to say, and you gotta try to come up with something new.
You can just talk about
But-
how you caught all the shrimp again.
No, but I think it's important to bring up to people that if you watch these videos and you enjoy them, but you might say like, oh, like I don't live in South Florida, I can't do all the things Brooke gets to do, like I wish I could. Just remember you do live near supermarkets and stuff, and I think a large part of this is the meal. So if all of you guys have the accessibility to go buy food and get people together, like you are still enjoying a large part of what this is. Don't think just because you can't go out and catch it, like, oh, you're missing out on it. You can still go and get really, I would say, the most important part. So just don't forget that you still have capability even if you can't go out and get it yourself.
Wow, that was so nice,
That was
Fisher.
so good.
You almost brought some tears to my eyes.
Aww.
Gabby, I know you couldn't eat any shrimp and you weren't there to catch them, but
I'm just grateful that, you know, I get invited to enjoy these, these meals are perfection. Like, so good. The sauce was amazing. I asked Brooke what was in the sauce because like I really want to make it. It's just light and you don't feel like I don't know, like full, like crazy full after. It's really good.
This actually happened, I guess it's almost 3 weeks now when we caught these shrimp, but I held out on the video for a little bit because I had just posted a shrimping video. But that shrimp run went on longer than I had seen like a shrimp run ever go on before. It was over a week that people were catching them, and I'm talking like every single night people were catching their limits. Like, this was like the best shrimp run I had ever seen. We only went those 2 nights, but you could have gone every single night for maybe 8, 9 nights. So a lot of people send me messages asking like, when are the shrimp running? How do you know when the shrimp are running? And realistically, sometimes you just gotta go out there and check and hope that they're there. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.